Rahul hasn't joined, right?
Yeah, I'm just waiting for him. Uh, so I think it's. I'll check with him once again. Hi, Rahul. Good evening.
Hello, ma'am. Good evening. Hi,
Thank you
everyone.
for joining in today. And
My pleasure.
yeah, so Rahul, we would have you a little more center placed, if you don't mind, the settings of your.
And I will take the
Yeah,
access.
that's fine. Yeah,
Yeah, I will
background
take,
is Axis Bank.
yeah, I'm going to take that away. Now, we generally end up doing so much of corporate work, we don't realize that. Uh, just bear with us for a quick minute.
Sure, sure.
Would you want me to use let's say a laptop for a better voice quality, or you're able to hear
The
me?
voice is clear. The voice is okay.
Okay. You want
Yeah,
to use a laptop?
that's perfectly fine.
That's perfectly fine. Okay.
Okay, I think Anita, we can start the session. People can join in as they come in.
So, shall we start, ma'am?
Yes, yes, let's start.
A very good evening and welcome, one and all. It gives me great joy and pleasure. Good evening once again and welcome all to the closing ceremony of the Low Vision and Rehabilitation course from Learn Beyond Vision. As you all are aware that this is the second cohort of the Low Vision and Rehabilitation course, and it's in a way I'm sad because the 6 week journey has come to an end. But I wouldn't say the journey has ended, rather, the journey has begun for all of us to embark in the field of low vision and rehabilitation. Hope the learnings from this course is put to good use in the coming days and years. And we all take inspiration from people in our everyday life. And two such inspiring people are here with us today and speak a few words. So it gives me great pleasure to welcome Dr. Sumit Grover and Mr. Rahul, who are here with us. And what better way to, end the 6 week learning journey with these two highly inspiring people to take you all through a small brief about Dr. Sumit Grover. He is currently the research scientist in Community Eye Department of Dr. R.P. Center at AIMS, New Delhi. He was earlier associated with Sushant University School of Health Sciences Department of Optometry and Vision Sciences as the associate professor and program director. He is also the founder patron of the NGO Manthan Eye Healthcare Foundation, a not for profit venture with an objective of creating awareness about the importance of healthy vision among masses in the community, and was also awarded the Best Healthcare NGO of the Year 2019. He has many awards and accolades to his credit. He's also done his master's from the London School of Hygiene and Tropical Medicine in Public Health for Eye Care with a distinction in dissertation and overall merit. Again, he has many fellowships and certifications to his credit, several publications under his belt, and his achievements and accomplishments runs into pages. So you do read up on Dr. Sumit Grover. He has several affiliations also, and he has been the member of editorial team of Open Access Journal of Ophthalmology, DOS Times, Flexus MD on online network for healthcare professionals, and Yo Social, official social networking partner of YOC. So, and then again, we have another inspiring person amongst us, Mr. Rahul Gupta. We've all heard him earlier as part of this course. He's a transformational leader with over 15 years of rich wholesale banking experience across segments, both in India and in the UK. His partial visual impairment has not deterred him from completing his economics degree from two prestigious schools in India, St. Stephen's College and Delhi School of Economics. Leading with pride and dignity sets examples for others to believe that they too can do it. And he is such an inspiring person. So I would like to request first Dr. Sumit Grover to speak a few words to the participants of the second cohort of the Low Vision and Rehabilitation course from Learn Beyond Vision. Over to you, Dr. Sumit.
Thank you, Dr. Anita. I hope I'm audible to everyone.
Yes, you are.
Yeah, so thanks Team LBV, Professor Monica Chaudhary, you, Dr. Arvind, for inviting me to this great event, and nice to see Mr. Rahul Gupta. Good evening, sir. And good evening and congratulations to the graduating second cohort of the Low Vision course of LBV. It gives me a very much delight to see that how LBV has grown up so swiftly, and how it has reached many eye health professionals in a very short period of time. And there's no wonder, because the leadership is in very good hands of stalwarts in the field. So
Dr. Sumit, you're not audible.
hello.
We lost you, Dr. Sumit.
We heard you till the stalwarts. So thank you so much. So would you have your video on? Could you do it, or otherwise I think you're traveling today.
He's traveling. And we have lost the network.
Sure. He's conducted an eye camp today, and I think he's coming back on that cornea donation awareness camp. Yeah.
Sorry, ma'am. Actually, I'm on my way to Rohtak for attending a corneal donation fortnight program, and deliberately I switched off the video to save the bandwidth.
Right.
So quickly, before I again go back to some network glitch, I was just saying that the low vision part or the field is very close to me professionally and personally. I've authored a book, with Professor you only about the low vision, not no vision, in which we mentioned that how low vision is a gray area for the patients, because they are not blind enough, to get all the benefits, and not so normal enough to lead a normal life as all people do. And we have studied, there are many evidence-based studies that how the field of low vision is always neglected, because it is considered to be non-lucrative, and visual prognosis of the patients are not so much encouraging. But there is a paradigm shift, I think, because of the upsurge of mobile apps and adaptive devices. Now there are lots and lots of studies, lots of smart glasses, and this field is evolving like anything. And this is a high time, every optometrist, every eye healthcare professional should be sensitized, and should be motivated, and most importantly should be trained in this thing, so that if a person comes to you with some hope, you should not say that, oh, I'm not trained in low vision, I don't know how to do refraction, I don't know how to prescribe and dispense the low vision device, and I don't know. So these things, I am very happy that LBV is doing such a good and full of wisdom course for eye healthcare professionals. And apart from this, I'm very also happy to share with all of you that recently our foundation, Manthan Eye Healthcare Foundation, has signed a MOU with Oxide, and they are coming up with their new smart glass Onyx for the patients with central vision loss. So Professor Monica is our honorary patron. She is as part of LBV, is a part of Manthan as well. And I welcome you all for any we have signed an MOU with like we have a partnership with LBV that if you want to have a practical session, I know in these unprecedented times of COVID, there are travel restrictions. We are not free to move here and there, but I hope that the things will improve, and you all are welcome to come for the live sessions under patronage of Professor Monica at Manthan. And there you will find many low vision patients, how to see them, how to make trials of these smart glasses, magnifiers, and other very interesting hands on these adaptive devices. So that's all from my side, and all the best to all the graduates here from the second cohort. And I hope after this wonderful training, you will be able to you will be have some superpowers to change the life of many people. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Sumit. You've been so inspiring as always, and your support means a lot to us. And thanks for extending the invitation to all the registrants of the low vision course to come to your setup, the Center of Excellence for low vision patients, and be able to try those low vision devices and learn how to dispense those devices as well. Thank you so much, Dr. Grover. Now I would like to invite Mr. Rahul Gupta to please come forward and speak a few words.
Good evening, everyone. First of all, thank you so much for giving me an opportunity to be here. What can be a better day than today? It's the Teachers' Day, and I don't know if you guys heard it in my video, which I shared with Dr. Monica. It is she who got me my first book in my hand almost 15 years back. In fact, if I go by the timeline, it perhaps will be September of 2006 only when I first met her. And when I was telling her, so I had just joined the bank and I was struggling to pick a check in my hand, and I don't know what to do and how to do. The doctor then pulled out a nice, very cute-looking Gandhian glasses, which completely transformed my life. So thank you so much. Happy Teachers' Day, ma'am, and congratulations to this entire batch for graduating today. As I said, it can't be a better day. When you are sitting with a guru and completing that course. And again, the way Dr. Monica and I met was again amazing. I recall it was 28th February 2019. I was in London, and for Oxide had launched this product, and ma'am was there, and we just we of course happened to be in the same room, and after 13 years we got connected. So these are all cosmic energies that get us together. And I was so thrilled when she told me about LBV and what she was trying to do, because as a patient myself, I realized that and I may share something very interesting. I've of course been born and brought up in India, but 5 years I was in London between 2014 to 2019. One thing that I have seen, and kudos to doctors, I mean, you guys are completely passionate about what you do. It's so amazing. And let me try to draw some analogy, and let's keep it a bit fun, right? I was talking to Dr. Chaudhary, that, I recently happened to visit one of a very reputed medical institutions in India. And I was looking for and I was told by a senior ophthalmologist that, why don't you go to the research center, talk about what have been your experiences. As soon as I land in that room, I see this very, very enthusiastic person. Now imagine you all step into a shopper store, right? And you see this very excited, committed sales guy who walks up to you and say, sir, I've got this phenomenal product which can change your life. Like, okay. And I just kept enjoying that journey. So those 45 minutes, that enthusiastic doctor probably showcased and talked about every technology that probably exists in low vision aids in the world. And I'm only thinking, wow, I mean, salute to your passion. But given I'm a banker, what's the fun of a product? And again, let me go very desi. And I'll use the same analogy that I used with her. I came to the store to buy aloo, and you are showing me all tomatoes and bengans. Well, they are good vegetables and spinach and everything. They are fantastic vegetables. But you got to understand what I really came for. And that's, and that's where the whole idea of matching needs come together. In fact, it's not really different in our day-to-day life. As I said, I'm a banker. One of the things that I keep telling my team, I know you are enthusiastic folks, you are champions in what you do, but when you go to a customer, why don't you first spend a little time to listen to what this client wants? What is the pain area? In fact, I came across this phenomenal book called The Trusted Advisor. I recommend each one to pick this. It's while it was written by a few consultants some 2 decades back, and they're constantly upgrading it. But I think in a lot of our roles, we are trusted advisors to the person sitting next to us. So when we are talking about some multi-million-dollar deals with our people, what differentiates us from other is this. And since you're all smart guys, much smarter, right? I mean, we commerce guys are rated way below the science students, but given you're all science students here, why don't I put out the very interesting equation that Trust Advisor leaves you? So it talks about something which is trust is equal to credibility plus reliability plus intimacy, and you divide this equation by self-orientation. Now, I will not spend more than 1 minute on this, but I thought it'll be probably interesting. And I generally talk very extempore, so please try to stop me if I'm going completely off. But what this equation does, so credibility, I mean, when we walk into, and in fact, the book talks about how doctors establish credibility. You've got some, various certifications in your wall, which establishes that yes, this doctor has earned his degree from the right places as well, and there are also these institutional requirements. But yes, your academic stuff gives you that credibility there. Reliability, again, the book picks an example of a dentist as to how this patient eventually built that reliability factor. Now that, every time this patient will go to the doctor, the dentist will do the treatment, and as soon as the patient goes back home, doctor will phone the patient and ask, hey, are you okay? Is everything fine? For the first time, this author felt maybe it's optics, but then they realized, no, it's something where the doctor was really looking for feedback. The third is intimacy. Intimacy is in a very pure form where how you come across, and I'll share again a medical example here. I was at the Moorfields Eye Hospital, this is August of 2015. And being a patient of glaucoma, I used to be on multiple drugs. So I used to have these Dorzox, Timenols, Combigins, I think Xalatan, if I'm correct. So some of these medications, right? I mean, there was some box of medication in my bag every day. And the doctors there realized that, my pressure was still in late teens or at times they were 21, 24. So one of this nice doctor, he came and he said, you think we can do a shunt surgery? And every time that this word was brought to me in India, my doctor will step back and say, hey, we are not too comfortable doing a surgery on you, because if we do a surgery on you, we are not sure what's going to happen. So that was always playing with my subconscious. So this doctor very nicely came to me, sat in front of me, and he said, he kept his hand on my hand. Trust me, I still get goosebumps when I think of that instance. A Greek doctor, gray hair, and he said, son, you've got a choice. We can keep giving you medication. We will try to hold you as much as we can. And yes, like every surgery, there's the surgery, but we do it every day. We know how to conduct it. It's not a difficult task. You can trust us. And but that will bring down your medication. Today, of course, the surgery went well. There were one or two the post procedures that were required to get the shunt at the right place. But today I use a single drop twice a day. My pressure is in early teens, at times it's around 11 or 12. But the message I'm leaving is the whole touch, the whole comfort that doctor got me. I'm sure, technically probably he was as sound as anybody else. But he just got me in that comfort zone and suddenly earned my trust. The last, which is the division, is so as you know, the doctor is from this institute, that institute. So as you'll come to a bank, you'll know, I'm going to this guy, I'm talking to this senior guy who spent 20 years, 30 years. The guy knows finance, right? I mean, if you guys in fact have any finance question, I can answer it with 15 years. So there's this guy who has probably done it. So with credibility, the trust factor goes up. With reliability, it goes up. With intimacy, it goes up. But then there is something called the self-orientation, wherein I want to first leave you with my knowledge before really understanding what you need. Now, the more you try to go up on the self-orientation, the trust factor comes down. And I'm like, after those 15, 20, 30 minutes after listening to that doctor at that top notch institute, I was only thinking in my mind, doctor, you are sold. I know you know. But do you know why I came here for? I came here so that I could talk to you and I can tell you what kind of stuff I use. And after those 30 minutes, when I showed him a small device that I had in my hand, like, I didn't know of this. Okay. Our conversation would have been very different had you asked me first, hi Rahul, what is your situation? What do you do? His first response was, do you use this app? Do you use these magnifiers? And I'm like, you were too fast. Had you spent a little time understanding what my field is, now being 37 years old, I can actually tell you, having interacted with a lot of doctors, where my periphery is, what's my field, what are my optic levels, how do I feel, how do glares impact me, what kind of technology I understand, where am I on my knowledge curve on that A to Z, or on a scale of 1 to 10, where am I? Of course, the doctor did tell me about some of the fantastic apps, some of the classes, which helped. But I'm sure that 1 hour could have been far more helpful. So I think two things that I wanted to leave on this floor. First, please go and read this book. It's something which I almost just finished reading, and I think it just helps to build that bond. Second, spend a little time. Couple of points. You guys would have realized I love to talk. So, second, try to understand what the person is in. What kind of position your patient is in. Because I, as you know, is something. It's a camera where only I can see the picture that I'm clicking. And I can only explain it to you in as many words. It at times tricks some people when I tell them that, I can perhaps make out something which is, let's say, 7 or 8 feet away from me. But I still can't measure depth, or I face challenge when something comes from the left. Now, people do get tricked. I'm sure you guys read enough of these case studies to be better up on the curve. But spend time to understand. And at times, I can promise you, there is something which your patient may come and tell you, because they would have done something with their jugaad. Now, how we use jugaad, I will probably let's see if I can show you guys. This is what I call Jugaad. If you guys can see this, it's a keyboard.
Yes, Rahul, it is well visible to us.
So it's a keyboard which has been hand painted by my wife so that it gives me contrast and I can read it. Now that's called Jugaad. Now, if next time your patient comes to you and tell you I struggle because even the black backlit keyboards don't work well for me, or I don't get the right product, with large bold stuff, you can tell them, hey, don't spend some thousands of bucks. There's this white ink that you get at every place. Just go and put that white ink, and you're good to go. So spend time, understand, listen, hear your patient first. Third, and as I said, it's no different. When I was in UK, I saw the same level of enthusiasm. There were some 30 devices which were kept around, and I suddenly felt as if I'm in a shop. Third, then once you sort of understood that, then probably start asking, besides this, has your then start opening your knowledge gate gradually. It's a very given I'm a sales guy and I'm a business guy, and doctors, you guys are academically very strong, and often we finance guys also take advantage of these situations. Let me admit it. So if we have to do any wealth management, who are our best customers? Doctors, because we know doctors know their profession best. But when it comes to finance, okay, we can make some extra pennies from them. But pun intended. The idea is gradually start opening up, and maybe start because patients also do get overwhelmed. At least I did get overwhelmed with 30 things around me, because then I suddenly don't know what may work and what may not. And then, yes, I mean, be on the joint path, be on the joint journey. As I said, the lenses that Dr. Chaudhary gave me 15 years back, when I showed it, these were for I think $500. When I showed it to people in UK, they could not comprehend that there could be a product like this. For them, the price was also 500, but they had replaced that rupee sign with the pound sign, which means it was suddenly for 50,000, and they still were not sure if they could deliver that product. So I think in terms of our access to stuff, we also have a lot of access. And again, Dr. Chaudhary and others, they are working hard to get a lot of these technologies into India. But I think those technologies and these apps are universal. There's a lot of work going on. And then come back. We are very happy to work jointly, see through together what we can do. Last but not the least, there could be a situation where you think you cannot help this patient. Absolutely fine. Still encourage that patient to come and say, I'm probably stepping into the commercial side of it, but tell them, maybe we may not even ask you for a fee, but do reach back to us after 6 months, after 1 year. Do encourage them to come back. One of the problems that I see with patients, I was 2 days back talking to somebody who is developing this amazing app, and again, Dr. Chaudhary and I have discussed, we are going to connect. Well-learned guy. And I've seen this across community, whether they're learned, whether they're educated, they're not that educated, they just don't want to follow up with the doctors, which is the biggest mistake. I think put those big hoardings in your room. See us, we are good people. And doctors as a community are the most loving community, right? I mean, you touch human lives. So you're most charming people on earth. In fact, one of the secrets my wife knows now, but I actually wanted to marry a doctor. I wanted to marry a dentist. Because I believe doctors are one of the most charming people. They're the most positive people on earth. So please encourage your patients to come back, see you more often. The way the world of technology is changing, it's crazy. I think at some point people used to tell me that I may not have any solution to glaucoma in my life. At least now people are telling me there potentially could be a solution in my lifetime. So we have at least progressed from no possibility to some hope. And it's okay to give that hope to your patients, right? I mean, in your mind, you might think, am I giving a false hope? It's okay. You are at least giving somebody an opportunity to look ahead. The way the whole RP and at least I know in retinal pigmentosa, the kind of medical advancements that's happening. Keep talking, keep encouraging. I think I should take a pause. Happy to cover anything here on.
Thank you so much, Mr. Rahul. It is so inspiring, encouraging, and motivating to hear from you. Thanks for teaching us and telling us to be patient with our patients. In fact, it's Happy Teachers Day to you because you are the ones who are teaching us how we need to move or interact with our patients. I mean, it's Happy Teachers Day to you, Mr. Rahul, I would say.
I was about to add the same thing, Rahul. Every time I hear you, it's like we want to hear you hours and hours again and again. And it's wonderful catching him on the phone also. Every phone call means, so you're more than a teacher for us. And I definitely say it's the teaching that comes from you. And that is the message we want to give back to our practitioners who are trying to get into low vision clinics. Number one, as he said, understand your patient, be passionate. It's not a shopper stop. We have to understand what he wants. And last, as we said, that follow ups. I think this is one of the major challenge which we all would agree. In fact, we do not want our patients whom we do not have solutions for to come back again. And it's sometimes a thought, फिर आ गया क्या करेंगे यार इसका. It's not like that. I think because the patient, sometimes new things have come in, and we have seen retinitis pigmentosa and other patients who've been said that nothing can be done. For 30 years, they've entered into secondary complications, but they have not visited the ophthalmologist or an eye center ever. So that's again a big learning today for all of us, that we need to ensure, even if we cannot do anything for them right now today, but a regular follow up is as important for them, and understanding the needs. And I would say, Rahul, truthfully, what I gave you years back for just 500 rupees, probably I had that limited device with me at that time. Of course, good, it worked for you, and that's nice to hear that. But yes, there are many more things which we import and are too expensive. In fact, even we do not have many things as trials in our clinic, simply because as a practitioner, even I can't invest to keep those as trials with me. Big institutions, yes, may be able to afford, but not independent practices. So we need to evolve into Make in India, and a lot more things need to come. That it's not difficult for India to do it, but if the practitioners starts prescribing, the demands increase, the market grows, I think the reverse will happen. And Rahul, before I pause, and there are, I think, some questions which are coming in the mind of the participants, and they would love to interact with you. And I would like you to mention about your passion which has just come in. I have shared the link in the group which we have of our practitioners, that how you are fundraising and what is now your passion or objective in future, and what help do you need from us as practitioners.
Excuse
Thank
me,
you.
ma'am. I just want to just jump in because I would request to bid a farewell because I have just another engagement. So thank you, Rahul. It was a very wonderful, inspiring, and motivating talk. And I've seen Professor Monica, seeing her patients, low vision, especially low vision clients in the clinic. And I know, ma'am, you are following the Rahul's footsteps, I think. uh, so he must have taught you these principles before. She took so patiently each patient one by one, and she listens to them, and took long hours. Sometimes I lose patience, ma'am. Jaldi karo. I mean, patients are waiting. So thank you, Rahul. Thank you, Dr.
I
Anita. Thank
think
you,
Dr.
Professor
Sumit,
Monica,
thank
for
you. Together
having with
we
me.
have
Yeah.
to do a lot more things. And yes, I know, thank you. We had to push
Sure.
your time in between, but we will certainly come and we'll connect with Rahul.
Sure, ma'am. And
Things to
bye,
take
everyone.
summer
All the best,
initiative.
everyone.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank
Please
you.
continue.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, sir. Thank you. Thank you.
Right, Rahul. So I would like you to mention about your initiative that you are starting now.
Thank you, ma'am. First of all, very humbled for such kind words. Um, I'm now, 15 years of my professional career. I think it's high time that I start giving back to society with whatever I have learned, whatever I intend to do. I have started writing blogs, which is trying to unfold my life journey. So, um, very interestingly, this is Learning Beyond Vision. My blog is The Vision Beyond Sight. So, and at some point, Dr. Monica and I have discussed that we'll try to see if we can merge the two. So I write a lot of my own experiences, my own stories. The idea is to spread positivity. Life is too short, why to crib? That's really the message that I've been following. So I work with this NGO called Sarthak. Sarthak Educational Trust is founded by Dr. Jitendra Agarwal in 2008. He was a practicing dentist who lost his central vision. And when he was trying to find employment for himself, he realized it was not easy for people with disabilities to find employment despite their being highly qualified. So he founded Sarthak back in 2008. Over the last 13 years, they've now placed over 23,000 people across sectors. So Sarthak started its journey from skill development and employment. And they gradually realized that it's important that we start working at the grassroots level from early intervention. It's important to identify these medical defects or medical deformities early, because a lot of these problems could then be addressed if picked up early. A lot of situations could probably be tied or fixed or blocked where they are, and we can avoid deterioration. So they started working on that. Today they operate 25 centers across 18 cities, which work not just at early intervention, but getting people with, getting people aware of governmental and non-governmental support that's available, which can help these kids across their life cycle. Then they spend a lot of time in doing skill building, because given each disability, there are people that are at different levels of learnings. And eventually, to make them self-sustainable, self-reliant, we have to take them through the curve. And they work across kids too, and they find jobs from the job work, which is the machining work, all the way up to the boardrooms. They work at different levels. They are now setting and building up India's first global resource center. It is going to come up in Gurgaon. I'm currently doing fundraise for them, where the initial cost of this center was around 18 crores. We got professors from IITs and others to come together, and with advanced engineering, we've managed to bring the cost down to 13 crores. So it's a massive task. I have taken it up on myself to raise at least 1 crore of rupees in the next 10 days, and God willing, we are going to surpass that number. So I seek your support. Please, if you may contribute to that, spread the message between your friends and family. Every penny counts. It's a great cause. It's really a great cause. And then today also happens to be the International Charity Day. So I was working on one of the project today where Give India, Procam, and Sunfeast India, they supported Sarthak. So if people register on Procam, for every 1 kilometer people covered by running, walking, cycling, or on wheelchair, Sarthak would have raised 20 rupees per kilometer. So today I did my 10 and a half kilometer run in 66 minutes. So that was phenomenal. Um, uh, I'm not sure if some of the medical practitioners here would wonder as to how a severely sighted manages at a speed of 10 to 12 kilometers on a treadmill. I'm sure each one of you would be a health enthusiast, but um, happy to open this mystery box as well. But yes, so 10 and a half in 66 minutes essentially mean I was running at 10 kilometers per hour. But there was sprinting that I was doing at almost 12 and 13 in between. So please come forth, come together. Every penny, any money, any amount matters. It helps. Please come and support lives.
Thank you so much, Rahul. And if there is anybody who would like to speak to Rahul or ask something to Rahul, you can unmute and come forward.
Also, if there's any more questions for Mr. Rahul, you could mail it to us. We could forward it to him and seek his answers as well, because we're short of time, right? So thank you so much, Mr. Rahul.
And Rahul, as promised, you would be coming back to educate us forever, letting us know what best we can do for our patients.
We'll keep interacting, ma'am. I think I'm too small to educate veterans, but we'll keep interacting. We'll keep sharing our experiences with each other. In fact, let me showcase one product again. I don't think people would have seen this. It's a keyboard that I use, which goes and sits on my phone. Now, if you can, it's a standard Samsung. It was an S7. Incidentally, the head of research wing for Samsung India was not aware of this product. I got this from the UK. It sits on it. It gives me an ability to type. One of the things, so for example, the minute we talk about, am I audible?
Yes, you are. Yes, you could share your jugards. We'd love to hear them more.
Yeah. So mostly what I've seen that the minute people talk about visual impaired, the first thing that comes to mind is, do you use this hearing software? Do you use, let's say, JAWS or I think Invisa or some of these products that are there? Do you use this? And my answer is no. Do you use canes? No. How do you work? Jugad, right? I don't like it. How do I walk around if I'm at the airport? Simple. I mean, I just tell somebody, can you help me? I keep my hand in front of me so that I don't get hit on the left side, and I generally keep my right hand on the shoulder of the person, and I can keep walking. To cut down on the glare, because I do get like a white curtain kind of a thing to cut glare, I generally put a hat or a cap. The minute I do this, my vision enhances because suddenly I cut the glare. I also use these amber yellow glasses as a filter, which again Dr. Monica helped me with. I recently got another Samsung device. It's a Note device. So what I can do, I can write on the screen. I don't know if wait, maybe I can show you some of these things. So I can write. I can write on the screen. I'm still getting used to it because unfortunately these tactile keyboards are no more available. We are trying to write to some of these technology majors. In fact, now I'm in my head thinking, if nobody else will do it, I'll probably start making it with the help of some doctors, help of some professors. I still see a lot of market for this. I think if you have a cool factor put around these things, there is clearly a market. So there could be a lot of these jugards. If your students come to you, encourage them. It just, I think it's a good idea for me to leave some of these ideas here. If some of the young kids come to you, how do I cope up in class? How do I do it? You'll of course give them these magnifiers, but do a very simple thing. Tell them, go to your teacher a day before. Ask them, what is it the teacher going to teach tomorrow? If you can get to know of that topic, get that topic home. It may take you a little extra effort. Try to read it, hear it, whatever. You might understand 20% of it when you do it yourself. Next year when you are in the class, If in a regular day you understand 40% of it, now potentially you'll be able to understand 80% of it. And that's a promise. So encourage them to do a little more hard work. Encourage them to tell them that maybe they don't have the one sense is not that good, but the other 5 senses are pretty phenomenal. So they should try going a little extra mile with some of these things. The energy, the power of positivity is so much. It's a very popular thing. I've tried this personally. I'm sure everybody would have seen Sholay, right? And Sholay mein where this last scene is where Hema Malini is dancing on these glass. You know how it works? If I break bottle of, so it's a management test also which is done. What they'll do, they break bottles of beers and glasses. I mean, not to be tried at home, please. You need highest level of expertise to do this. But I'm just trying to tell you how brain works, the power of brain. You put these glass there and you ask people to run over it. The thing is, in our mind, in our fear, what we do, we start going slow. It pricks you when you go slow, but when you run over it, your body is such, nothing happens. Again, as I said, it's not to be tried unless you are with an expert. But the only thought is, the brain is a very, very powerful animal. Just push your patience to go beyond. No need to sympathize with them. Absolutely no need. And you have to tell them that go and ask for stuff that gets you equal. Don't ask for exceptions. I hate, and hate is a strong word, but yes, I completely hate it if somebody on a name of diversity and inclusion will come and ask me for certain exceptions. As an organization, what I care for and I get from my organization is an opportunity to be equal. And beyond that, it's on me to deliver. So again, you are the first ambassadors. Parents may come and say, doctor, what do I do? I have this little child. The child has a problem. The child wants to do something. Like, okay, I mean, your child is normal, right? It's okay. I mean, there is a medical deformity. We are not trying to tell you that these superhumans, of course, don't make them drive a car on the road, but they can do everything else. They probably just need to adjust.
Draw your pattern to unlock the device.
Sorry, I think my Samsung isn't quite into right now. So yeah, I thought it's important I leave some of these pointers with you, which could just help you when you interact with your patients.
Yes, thank you. And it means a lot, every word. In fact, we have a question from one of the participants. They're asking you, would you like to come forward, or we read the question in the chat, Anita?
If you could read the question, that's better.
Okay. Right. So, Mr. Devender actually is happy to know that the first life changer was this low vision device for you. Was it? He wants to confirm it from you.
Yes, it was. Because prior to that, the way I used to take my exams was through enlarged papers. In fact, one important thing, if you come across young kids, young students, direct them to organizations like Sarthak. There are, of course, other organizations like Enable India, who are well aware of the governmental policies and governmental support. So, for example, till grade 12th, I was not aware that as severely cited, I was eligible for 20 minutes extra on every 1 hour of exam. It was only in the university days that I got to know of it. And I was then also eligible for an enlarged paper. So at times students may or may not be aware. So please guide them. There's this application that's been put together by Capgemini and Sarthak. It's called Cap Sarthi. I'm sure there'll be many more such. Whichever NGO you feel strongly about, Sarthak is something that I'm leaving you with. Direct them to this. But yes, this device
we will have Mr. Jitendra. I have been, they used to run an annual show also. I've participated in that. I think we will love to have Mr. Jitendra one day addressing this cohort and the other cohort participants also.
More than happy to
We can tell
facilitate
them more than what can be done. At least we know where to send our patient for certain things beyond the clinic, what are required. So Rahul, there's another question which is asking you about your lighting requirements and how do you manage your lighting conditions? What kind of lamps do you use, or what is the jugaad in that case?
So, so I prefer natural light as much as possible. And the way my situation is, I prefer the light to come from my right side. So as you see right now in the room that I'm sitting, there's a window, and there is a closure here. Now what it does, if I sit the other way, then the glare will come on the left side, so which distracts me more. In fact, again, the organization was very kind. I recently got elevated, and at a particular designation, you are entitled to be in an enclosed cabin, and generally all our cabins are in the middle of the building. And I wanted natural light, so what they did, they actually got my desk, or they got a special cabin done for me, where again, when I sit, the light comes from the right. So natural light is the best light. But then I also have a white lamp. I don't really have to use it these days, because the work on paper has gone down quite low. So I don't really have to work with paper and pen. But if I have to work with paper and pen, I prefer white light to come on the paper from top. In my room, again, instead of warm whites, I prefer pure white. The latency of so I was just told, and I'm not an expert, but I can share what my architects told me at office. Natural sunlight has got a latency of around 10,000. Warm whites generally have a latency of 3.5. White LEDs have a latency of around 6,000. So, but anything beyond that becomes too bright and too shiny, that may or may not work. So, and generally I prefer light to come from behind, because if it comes from age, then again it leaves me with a white curtain on my face. So I hope I answered that.
Yeah, that was wonderful to explain that these small things make a big difference in the visual quality of the patient. And we have just overlooked this when we never talk about this to our patients. I think obviously the patient adapts to what is best for him, but to give him a clue that doing such things are not wrong and he can adapt is wonderfully explained in the clinic. So I think we can go on and on and on, but we have to close the session. However, we promise all our participants that we will interact with Rahul. He'll be coming forward. I have shared the fundraising link with you in the WhatsApp group. I request you all to kindly do some contribution, because it's something that we can give back to them and patients whatever way we can, little bit, or to our friends, to our professional groups and social. I know we all love to do some kind of charity, but why not for our visually impaired patients, those who really need help?
We'll be really humbled to have your contributions. And yes, as Dr. Chaudhary promised, I'm available. Of course, if you want to get in touch with me, my mobile number is available here. The best way to connect with me is leave a voice message to me, and I will generally come back. I try to be responsive. I know Dr. Chaudhary will have some complaints from me on that, but I try to come back. There are various things where I put my hands on, but I just try to balance it all.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I think, Anita, the exact moment. Congratulate them for the completion.
Once again, heartiest congratulations to all the participants of the Low Vision and Rehabilitation Batch 2. So you will be receiving the hard copies of your certificates. Of course, we will not be able to send it overseas. If you have an Indian address, you can please forward it to us. We will be glad to courier it to your Indian address. And for the rest of you, you will be couriered the hard copies of your certificates. Of course, you have to meet the mandatory criteria of having acknowledged the instruction mail in the first place, followed by completion of Dr. Frank Epirgesi's low vision course. So the course completion certificate needs to be shared with Aisha or mailed to us at contact@learnbeyondvision.com. So once we receive all of those, we will be issuing the certificates. So these are the certificates, and we have kind of written your names also. This is how it's going to look. So we have all the certificates. So congratulations.
I think we all can clap for each other.
Yeah.
Congratulations, guys.
So in case of any spelling errors or any changes that is required in your name, you can convey that to us. Or you could message Aisha. She will take it up before we have the final certificates printed.
Oh, that was cool.
Thank you. In fact, we
Thank
would
you,
say,
one and all. Always have faith in your ability. Success will come your way eventually. So best of luck from Team LBV. Please do stay connected with us. I believe that this is not the end of the journey, but the beginning of a new journey in the world of low vision and rehabilitation. And with firm belief, we can make a difference in the lives of so many of our patients. And of course, Mr. Rahul has given his perspective as a patient, what he expects out of us practitioners. Hope we imbibe those qualities that is expected out of us and reach out better to our patients and give them the confidence and hope and see knowledge and skills we do imbibe. So but to be able to apply that knowledge and skill in the right way is very important, and to be able to touch the lives of millions of people around us through our knowledge and skill is also very important. So thanks once again, Mr. Rahul, for giving your perspective and telling us what is expected out of us as practitioners. And once again, all of you, the very best, and congratulations again.
before we just part away, I would say that those of you can come in, just we would love to hear some message from you. And a small favor if you can do, if you are really happy, please give us a feedback. If there is something which you want us to improve, we would love to hear that from you, because we are in a learning stage. All this is new technology. 30 years that we've been teaching, this is all a new way of teaching and learning. And as I said, once done, we do understand we will be hosting some workshops and trainings also. We would love to mentor you, because the first cohort practitioners come back to us even when they need any help for a patient. We are open to this, and unless we connect with you later also, I know the confidence will not come in. Start investing small things. The outcome that we expect out of this course is almost everybody should become a low vision specialist now. In whatever small basic way or bigger way, we are here to help you, but that is our mission. Certifications truthfully have no meaning. It's just a way to say thank you that you trusted Learn Beyond Vision. But our intentions are that please, you're already graduates, you're postgraduates, the degrees are with you. It's just that upskill yourself and get more involved into it. And I would also like to add that Learn Beyond Vision is running the second course on non-strabismic binocular vision anomalies. It's doing very well. And our third course is on basic refractions and improving the skills and knowledge in refraction, is also being launched. The admissions are open and we shall start it in next 2 weeks. I request you all to please, if you are happy, kindly promote a message to your friends and colleagues that more and more people can learn and upskill and finally give back to the patients. So, yes, you would like Dr. Srilata. In fact, there were some query from you. I would personally want to talk to you and like to help you out. There are some live stories. We will be sharing some live stories as public videos on the YouTube. We are developing that. And what not, when you next time have a patient in your clinic, we can even be on a video call together. I can observe you, our faculty can observe you, and we can, after the patient is done, we can discuss and give you back the confidence. That's my promise to all my LBV registrants. So Dr. Srilata, next time, anytime when you start and have any doubt, let's be connected. And please, if you have any query, feel free to write direct to me. It's not necessary to reach us through our admin group. You have to come, you can please feel free to do it with us. Thank you.
Also, the third cohort of the low vision and rehabilitation course is also going to be starting shortly. So if you're happy and satisfied with the way this course has, reached out to you, you please spread the word amongst your friends and colleagues. So we would be happy to have them aboard. And if you can quickly switch on your video cameras for a couple of screenshots, which I will be sharing with you all over mail. So if you can switch on your videos, please.
You can have a, yeah, thank you. Thank you. And please don't forget to give us a feedback. I think for those who have switched on, we can have the picture.
Just a second, just give me a moment.
Yeah, I think some are still switching on. Need not bother. It's just a memory for all of us.
Thank you so much, all of you. So please do keep in touch with us.
Yeah, doctor, has one final word. Thank you so much for positively impacting lives of millions of people. So each one of you are those ambassadors. You have the Midas touch. Just always remember that Midas touch, that your voice, your word, your thoughts can just change somebody's life for a very, very positive reason. So please be those ambassadors, and thank you so much for being God-owned messengers and doing this. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.